What's going on? So the next few days, I'm going to be doing like NBA announcers against each other, and I thought this was going to be a lot of fun because I was going to be comparing players who used to play and how they were as announcers. And the first one I'm going to start with is Bill Walton versus Mark Jackson. Now, Mark Jackson has a very successful podcast that's out right now with him and his son. Check it out if you can. That man should be getting a job somewhere, but they whiteballed him because they don't like his vibe, so they won't have him on. But if you want to listen to some knowledgeable point guard who can give you some insights and some stuff, check out his podcast. It's been going on for the past year and change. The late Bill Walton was hilarious. Knock it down, big fella. Yes, yes. The best pass I've ever seen since 1933 was. He would say stuff that would have you cracking up, and then you're like, I hope they might have to test him when the game is over because he'd be saying some crazy stuff. But of Walton and Mark Jackson, who did I enjoy listening to the most? I thought Walton was hilarious. I thought he had some interesting inside pointers at certain parts that he made was intriguing. I thought, but Mark Jackson was more detailed. You know, man down, hand down. He always had a quote. That goes that man. He had some incredible quotes, and it was the way he would pick watching the game, how he would say things that they just were so, had a way of putting it there. So of those two, as far as being announcers, Walton was more animated. He got into like I said, that Grateful Dead adrenaline thing had got into his head with because he was just saying anything. Mark Jackson was brings it into a more cerebral vibe, kind of hits you in a way that you're just like, yeah, it's more direct. So they hit you in different ways. Not saying one is the best, one is, they both hit you in different ways. So enjoy them both for different reasons, When you're watching a game, you want to be entertained, you want to kind of feel like you're part of something. So, of course, you get caught up in the whole ambiance of it, but it just depends on who says what, how it's said, how it comes to play. It's just one of those things. So, um, I like them both. If I had to give an edge to one or the other, I say Walton was serious and funnier because sometimes I would understand what he meant by his logic, and he would bring up stuff. He had a way of saying things too. He said, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best player I ever played against. Dr. J was the most electrifying player I ever saw. And Larry Bird was the greatest teammate I ever had. He would break it down in ways where you were like, takes you in there and made you feel it. So, and I think also because the totality of the eras and where he was as a player. So, but I do enjoy Mark Jackson. I like his matter of fact commentary. I think he's very knowledgeable, and like now when it comes to the podcast and talking about the intricacies, straightforward. Mark is more straightforward, but Bill Walton's humor and vibe used to crack up off of Walton because you didn't know what he was gonna say, and I think that's what kind of made it. Sometimes you long for that kind of hit, and you long for that kind of presentation. So they both are enjoyable, just and hit you in different ways. But I thought that was a cool version of extremes of where I would go, because I got asked about different ones, and I'm going to be tackling that for a few episodes when I do this about the NBA announcers that I really enjoyed. And I've had some great ones that I've enjoyed. But anyway, let me know what you think. Bill Walton versus Mark Jackson. Who moves you more as an NBA announcer and why? Just tell me below in the comments. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit if you like it. The membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm my one time. Peace.